also launched an 8-book series with the theme It's Time. Currently, Didi is based out of the Brahma Kumari's Global Retreat Center in Oxfordshire, UK, where she facilitates retreats, training sessions, and various self development programs. In November 2014, Didi received a Woman of Excellence Award from the Yoga Federation of India for her contribution to social work. We warmly welcome her, and I request our Brahma Kumari sisters to please come and welcome her with bouquet and badge. Thank you. With, with warmth in our heart and gratitude in our mind, we welcome Didi. And now we ask Didi to please enlighten us through our session. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good morning. Are you having a good time? I know they're taking good care of you, and you have lots of very lovely and special speakers. So I know that you are in good hands. So your topic this morning is cultivating self-worth. So I want to ask you a question. Do you all think that you are earning enough? Do you think you're earning enough? Is your salary enough? Or should it be more? More? And then the next question is, how much is enough? What is enough? So, something we learn here, and that is your self-worth is not based on what you do. Your self-worth is based on what you are. So we chase pennies, we chase power, position, and people, all for what? To get ahead in life. But we forget that as we look outwardly, we are actually ignoring the inner self. In other words, we have so much, let's say, wealth within us, but we don't look at that. Instead, we look at the external wealth. And so in the process of acquiring external wealth, we also lose this wealth, which is our health, which is our happiness, which is our peace of mind. But something we learn here, and that is if I have these things, then those things come automatically. And why do they come automatically? Because I have the power to attract that to my life. If you create one powerful thought, you can create what you want. So the seed of your success is not your power, your position, your degree. It is actually your mind. This tool which helps you to create very powerful thoughts. And then you know all about law of attraction, that as you put out, so you get back as well. So let's come back to the topic. So the topic is self-worth. So why is it so important? It's important because it's a big part of your relationships. Depending on your level or quality of self-worth, you will be able to interact with others. If you have low self-respect, then of course others may take advantage of you. You won't be able to put your boundaries. You won't be able to say no when necessary. So self-worth has a lot to do with, again, sense of myself. And this comes back to the question, who am I? So am I just the degree that is on the wall, or am I something more than that? So we learn here that I'm something, well, not just something, a lot more than that. I'll come to that at the end. So self-worth is how you see yourself, and self-esteem is actually how many traits or skills or qualities you have, and then based on that, how confident you feel. So that's why people get a lot of certificates, because they think, okay, if I have more training, more certificates, more degrees, then I am something. But that's still just self-esteem. That is not self-worth. So self-worth comes from a real sense of doing that which is right. You all know in Bharat, everybody more or less understands the karma philosophy. As you sow, so shall you reap. So here too, when I am thinking, speaking, and doing the same thing, then that gives me my integrity. That gives me my sense of self-worth. But imagine you're thinking something else, saying something else, and doing something else. Who's going to trust you? Right? You say you're going to turn up, but then you turn up late or you don't turn up at all. Do you expect others to trust you? No. And then they don't like you, and then they don't want to work with you, and it's a whole ripple of events. But if you say, okay, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock, and you're there at 5 to 2, right? Not 2 o'clock, you're there 5 to 2, and you're ready and waiting. And then others also say, I better go early because they will be there early. So you are setting the tone for your life. I always believe that people speak to you, people behave towards you the way that you express yourself. So if you are showing respect, if you are showing kindness, then of course others have to. They have to. Why am I saying have to? Because if they don't, they look bad. So in order to look good, they will also be kind back to you. So you have become the master in that moment, of that moment, because you decided the outcome. You decided you're going to be nice and kind and polite and respectful because you are that towards yourself, and then that's what others are towards you as well. So this is a very important point about, holding my own integrity, my power. And there is a slogan or a statement, let's say, that you're doing the right thing even when someone is not watching you. We do right things when others are watching us, but do you do the right thing when others are not watching you? This is actually integrity. And so when I do that, I am in self-control, I am empowered, I love myself, and then I'm able to give more to others. Can you pour from an empty cup? No. So first you have to fill your cup. And this is why we say that here in meditation, you take care of yourself first. So when you come to the center, when we come to the center, we are replenishing ourselves. Every one of us, we come, we study, we have meditation, we fill ourselves up. And then when we go out, then we are giving. We don't expect anything from anyone when we go outside. If they give, that's fine. That's a bonus. But otherwise, I'm not waiting. I'm not expecting. And then this keeps me happy. So the point being that, yeah, I come to the, as you have done, you've come to this retreat to fill your soul. Now, this is a bit of a paradox because it's not that you're filling your soul, you are already emerging what is there. We are not giving you the peace. We are not giving you the love. We are showing, we are emitting, we are being. But then you see that and you say, okay, I can emerge that from within me as well. So this is the cultivation of my self-worth. Let's come on to the aspect of your virtues, your values, your principles. So when you are happy, you are a winner. Just think about this. When you are happy, you are a winner. What do I mean? Okay, let's say, for example, somebody is angry at you, they're insulting you, or let's say not even in front of you, you know that they are talking behind you. Let's say somebody is being overtly rude to you. But hey, you know, I'm going to smile. I'm going to hold on to my happiness because I'm happy and everything's fine and it's okay. They can do what they want. When you have this kind of attitude, who's winning? They're winning or you're winning? I'm winning, yeah. So this is why your qualities are your power. Again, if somebody is not giving me love, let me give love. What's the problem? Why can't I give love? If I expect them to give me love, then I become the slave. But if I'm the one that initiates love, gives the love first, I become the donor, the data, the bestower. And so I'm the one that's dictating this relationship. But if I'm waiting from them, it's like they've got the remote to my life. They press the happy button and I'm happy. They press the sad button and I'm sad. And I'm like a yo-yo. 1 minute this, 1 minute this. And that's not a healthy state to be in. So cultivating self-worth is a lot about looking at my inner values, qualities. Values, what do I mean by values? Values means like you, let's say, believe in something. So you believe that it's important not to lie, not to cheat, not to steal. It's also important to treat others with respect. All these are your values. So at no cost are you going to lose your value. Because if you do, right, you know the repercussion. If you plant the seed of hate, then what do you get back is hate. If you plant disrespect, what do you get? Disrespect. You can't expect to plant a tomato seed and get cucumber, right? It's the same concept. You can't plant hate and expect to get love and respect. It doesn't work. So if I am to get what I want, which is all this love and kindness around me, then yes, this is something that I have to emit. Now, let me tell you that people in the world that are a lot on social media, They are looking for a lot of gratification, a lot of acknowledgement, a lot of attention, approval. About 60% of teenagers on social media are not happy with themselves because they're looking for that love and attention from others. They're looking for views, they're looking for likes, they're looking for followers, and they think that this equates success. You know, there was some experiment some time ago. Actually, it was related to Facebook at that time. And so there was one man, and what he did is he had about 8,000 friends on his Facebook account. So what he thought he'd do is he'd invite them to a party. So he put an invitation and said, I'm having a party. Would you like to come to my party? Can you believe only about 60 responded? Right? 8,000 friends and 60 responded. And how many do you think turned up? 6? 1. So who are his real friends? Yeah, exactly. So we get disillusioned by this fact that, oh, see, I'm successful because I have so many followers. In fact, I have an Instagram account, and I resolved this long time ago in my mind that I'm not looking for, I don't have many followers, by the way, and I'm not looking for them. But what I like to do is I keep the Instagram account because it makes me look for novel things in my life, unique things or something different that I can share with whoever wants to see it. So this is one way of saying, okay, I'm going to look at the bright things in life, and that's what I'm going to post. And then whoever sees it, it doesn't matter. Even if 5 people see it, 10 people see it, it's okay. I did it for myself. I didn't do it for you. And this is the big problem. When I'm living for others, I'm losing out. Also, what happens is we are living fake lives as we focus on social media because we are trying to compare ourselves with other people out there. And it doesn't work. A lot of these celebrities have a lot of Photoshop done to their faces, to their figures. They are not that perfect. But all the young teenagers, what are they doing? They are aspiring. In fact, there was an article that my friend wrote, and that was dying to be thin. So dying has 2 meanings, right? One is you're dying, you really want it, you're dying for that food. And the other is you're literally dying. And that's what's happening. People are literally dying as they try to embody or look alike somebody else. So self-worth doesn't come from comparing myself to others. I am a very unique individual, and I need to actually believe in myself. So I really want to emphasize this topic of belief and trust. So let me tell you another story. So the story is that there are 2 cliffs, okay? And going across the cliff is a rope or a wire, but let's say a rope. And there is a man who, he does this as his show. So what he does is he walks across the rope from one cliff to the other cliff. And down below everybody's watching and they're clapping and they're very happy. Okay, then they pay him. Then the next time he goes across with his son on his shoulders. So he puts his son on his shoulders and he walks across to the other side. Are you with me? Okay. Then he puts his son down and he says, do you believe that I can go across again? So everybody there says, yes, yes, we believe you. He says, okay, who would like to be on my shoulders? Anyone? No. Why not? Because they don't trust him. Do you see the difference between believe and trust? So believe is okay, knowing and seeing, but trust is when you actually live it. So we have a lot of negative beliefs about ourselves, that because I do this, I'm successful, because I have so many friends, I must be likable. You will know, and we'll do some reflection in a minute, but you will check yourself, okay? What are my beliefs? But we have to turn them into positive beliefs. You have to truly believe in yourself, knowing who you truly are. And for that, you need some time. You need meditation. You need knowledge. Because really, who am I? So as you sit with yourself and you are in the laboratory of your mind, you will self-discover yourself. And then when you come out of that and act, then you have a very powerful influence on people. Has anyone seen that movie, The Matrix? Yeah? Right. So at the end, right, Neo discovers that he is the one. So when he discovers that he is the one, all the power emerges. So same for you. When you discover that I am the one, for whatever task, for whatever is your mission or purpose in your life, then you get the power to do it. But here, it's not just about temporary things. Here, we want a more everlasting power. We want to emerge an everlasting power where I am totally in self-control, where I am in control of my thoughts and my words and my deeds. And again, that only comes from being with the self. So actually, I'm here now because upstairs on top of the mountain, there is a retreat. And that retreat is for Arabs and for those from Asia. So there's about half and half from each side. There's about 13 countries represented. And just yesterday, we had a session on being and doing. Am I the human being or am I the human doing? So in order to be, I need to spend time being. Be, just be. So somebody was asking me the question, well, what is the difference between being and being lazy? Being is where you are, you're gaining power. You're not losing power. Through laziness, you're losing power. There's no sense of purpose. There's no sense of mission. There's not even the self-respect. But with beingness, I love myself. I care for myself. I'm kind to myself. I'm peaceful. And then this is what energizes the soul. So I think it would be a good time now to do a little reflective exercise. Does everybody have pen and paper? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. You can play some light music if you have. And these questions are for you to check yourself as honestly as possible. So you don't have to show them to anyone. So don't feel that you don't want to write the truth. No, write the truth, but just be honest with the self. And these are all questions related to self-worth, and then how we can increase self-worth, and then we'll come to the second part. Okay, shall we have some music? So first of all, yeah, just get in touch with yourself. So when you say I, who is that I? It's not just the body, it's not your position, it's not your role. This is the real I, okay? So I, the being, seated in this body. So first question, what do I believe about myself? And second part of that question, where did that belief come from? So you might think I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm rich, I'm capable, or I'm not. Where did that belief come from? You can write a few beliefs if you want. Okay, next question. When was a time you felt unworthy? And what made you feel that way? When was a time you felt unworthy? And what made you feel that way? So write down some feelings or some incident. Next question. What is the language that you are speaking? So this is not about Hindi, English, but in your mind you are speaking a certain language. Maybe it's a language of irritation, frustration. Maybe it's a language of joy. Maybe it's a language of being depressed. So just look at some of the statements, the words that you say to yourself in your mind throughout the day. That's what I mean about language. So write some notes about what you observe about the language you're speaking. So for example, you might say, oh, I'm stupid, I can't do that, I'm not capable, or the opposite, that only I can do it, nobody else can do it. I'm superwoman. So just observe and write some thoughts down. Okay, next question. So I'd like you to imagine that you are your best friend. What advice would you give to yourself? You are your own best friend. What advice would you give to yourself? Okay, next. So now I'd like you to create a vision of a healthy self-worth. So just, if I were you, I'd just draw a little skeleton image of yourself, and then you can put lines coming out. And so what does that healthy self-worth of myself look like? So what would be the components of that? So let's say, for example, you might say, I want to slow down, or I want to speak more softly or not roughly, or I want to take my time. So write positively the language. What are the components of your vision of your healthy self-worth? So this is like talking about your ideal self. What is your ideal self? What would you like to be? So let's say it's like confidence without arrogance, or it's like a sense of, again, confidence without mistakes, without failures, or in the light of failure, you're confident. Okay, next question. So your self-worth is not up for debate. Okay? In other words, nobody else is going to determine your self-worth, only you. And so, what are you going to do to invest in your self-worth? So write down some action points that you might do to invest in your self-worth. So I would say something like meditate 10-15 minutes every morning, a bit of self-talk, a bit of positive affirmation. What else? What else are you going to do to cultivate a strong sense of self-worth? Okay, next question. I'd like you to get in touch with what you think are your core values. Core values, not just Brahma Kumari's core values of peace, purity, love, power, etc. What do you think are your core values that you are willing to die for? So in other words, no matter what, you are going to be that core value. So let's say, for example, you are going to be honest no matter what. You're going to be truthful no matter what. Or you're going to be generous no matter what. So what do you think are your personal core values? Okay, the other thing you can do, but not now, which helps, which I've done, and that is you can do your timeline chart. I don't know if it's been done already, but you can do a timeline from the time you were born to now, whatever is your age. So then you can say like 0, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then just in terms of your self-worth, just see when was your self-worth the highest. Okay, so that's a little bit of homework for you. So this will help you to see on what grounds were you basing your self-worth. So let's say as a teenager, you were basing your self-worth on your grades. Maybe you got good grades. Then maybe you got your first job, or then maybe you got married or whatever. So you can get to see on what grounds you based your self-worth. Then you come to now. Now you are wiser and bolder. And so now what are you going to base your self-worth on? Because all that's gone and done, right? So now what is left? Anyway, that's homework for you to do later. You don't need to do it now. But as I was talking earlier about self-worth, I was talking about this ability to create boundaries. And what happens is if I have low self-esteem, I'm not able to create boundaries. So maybe this is the time where you can start distributing the little pieces of paper. Yeah. So we're going to do a little exercise, right? They asked me for something creative, so this is a little creative exercise. I hope you enjoy it. So all of you will be given a piece of paper. Okay? So one says Group A, one says Group B. And you'll read it in a minute, but the whole exercise is about learning how to create boundaries or even how to ask for things from a place of self-worth and self-esteem. And this happens in our life all the time, where we have to ask for things, request for things, make things happen, but it's not happening, and we don't know how to quite do it. So let's see how you fare with this exercise, and then we can talk about it afterwards. Okay? So just raise your hands if you don't have the paper. Okay, in the middle. So yeah, one should have Group A, one should have Group B, and then you will pair up. You don't show the other one yours, right? Group A has a set of instructions, Group B has a set of instructions. So don't show the other one your instructions. Okay, got it? All right. Just keep your hand up if you don't have it, and बीच में नहीं मिला है उस तरफ. No, they are already paired. Yeah. नहीं तो ऐसे करो न 5 पेपर्स दे दो और वो अपने आप हाँ आगे करेंगे. Okay, who doesn't have still? Yeah. So I think just give the sheets and they pass it on. Sisters, आप बस 5-6 पेपर्स दे दो और अपने आप पास कर लेंगे या because you're taking time giving each one. Okay, so actually normally how we do this is we send half the people outside, we give them one set of instructions, we give this one set of instructions. Okay, so have some fun. So Group A will be with Group B, yeah? Are you Group A and B, for example? You're B and you're A, okay. So you've read your piece of paper? Have you read it? Have you read yours? Yeah. So then you can take a moment. Okay, this is my story. Get into that scenario, that this is my situation. How am I going to approach this person who's my friend, my relative, something like that, somebody close? And you will then have a conversation. Okay, got it? All right, so you can start. Find yourself. If you're A, find B. If you're B, find A, and have a conversation. Sorry? You're meant to be role playing, so you don't read it to them. And you bring the information out slowly, yeah? What I've given to you, you bring the information out slowly. But you have to fight your case. The one who wants the car, they have to fight for the case. The one who doesn't want to give the car, they have to fight for the case. Okay? So just have fun. Do a bit of acting, role playing, exaggerate, dramatize. Brother. Okay, one more minute and you can finish. Try and conclude. Okay. Okay, shall we stop? So, which was the group? So group A wanted to borrow the car, right? Did you succeed? How many succeeded? Okay, how many didn't succeed? A few. Was that because of group B being kind and compassionate? So what did you learn from that? Anything? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Yeah. Okay, so the sister's saying many times we don't understand the whole story. We have just our story in our mind. Good. Or overthinking. Trust. Okay, if she's my friend, I should talk to her kindly and trust in her. And compassion. Yeah. Good. It's important to express your feelings with compassion. Good. Huh? You have to have convincing power. Okay. But it's not just words, is it? It's about your whole energy, your whole vibe. Okay, so since I have a few minutes, I would like to now talk about actually my own personal story and the story of the Yagya. So actually, when Brahma Baba started the organization, I think you're aware that he was a jewel merchant, a jeweler, and he was self-made. His uncle was a philanthropist, but his own family, his father didn't have a lot. But then Brahma Baba made his way up the ladder and he became rich. Now, after he became rich, he had these visions, and then he realized, what is all this compared to all this? And then he decided he's giving all that up. So can you imagine, just imagine this scenario where he has everything, right? He has about 8 cars, he has servants, he has houses in different places, he has lots of money, he has lots of gold and jewelry, diamonds actually. And suddenly one day he just decides, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to the jewels of knowledge that he was receiving. Like, what kind of attitude shift is that? When you realize that what I've been doing is actually donkeyship compared to, let's say, royalty. Okay? So when I self-realize who I really am, that becomes my change of anchor. And I start to now change the way I think, and then what I put my energy to, my time to, and then I start going for that. And I've seen, as you heard, I've lived in many different parts of the world, and I've seen a lot of people's transformation. Because now the priority is the self. All of you are doing things for your body, for your family, for your children, which is fine, it's okay. But that's not it. At the same time, there needs to be work done on the soul. Because if I, the soul, now leaves the body, what am I going to carry away with me? What is my achakaram? What is my income of the soul? What am I going to take away with me? And so this is something that I realized when I was young. In fact, one of my points that gave me my spiritual realization is that everything that you see here, just look at everything, the fan, the lights, the camera, the chair, the table, stage, everything is going to finish. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to change form, right? Matter changes form. But the one thing that does not change or is not destroyed, and that is the soul. So when my mother told me just this one line, one piece of information, that for me was a game changer. And I said, okay, Mom, I want to learn what you're learning. And that's when I started to do meditation. Because there was some, like we say, awakening, jagruti, from inside, that I need to do something for my soul. So my point in sharing this is, okay, in the world they teach you get more qualifications and you get your sense of self. And I'm saying to you, no, go deep, deep, deep inside you and you get your sense of self-worth. Because only you know who you are. You have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how do you expect others to love you? And there has to be something to love inside. It's so easy for others to tell me. And I love hearing others tell me, I love you, I love you. That's why we are in relationship, because somebody else is telling me, I love you. But I have to sit and tell myself, I love you. And that's why I'm saying you have to find the goodness inside of you. And then you would say to yourself, yes, Aruna, I love you. But if there's constantly anger and hatred and evil coming out of me, how can I possibly love myself? I can't. So when I get angry with you, I'm actually getting angry with myself. Think about it. Because I'm not emerging my real true form. My real true form is my true nature, which is of love and peace and kindness. But when I go away from that, then I don't like myself. And then I'm frustrated and I'm irritated and all these other signs. So that's why I'm saying that the most easiest, most honest way to cultivate self-worth is to just become a good person who is living in alignment with my core values. That's why I asked you some of those questions, so that you can reflect. And you say to yourself, okay, this is me, and this is what I'm doing, and I am in alignment. A lot of people in the world are not in alignment. They're thinking something, but doing something else. So they're thinking they want to be good people, but in their actions, they're actually hurting other people. And when I hurt somebody else, how can I be at peace? I can't. There's no man ki shanti, because I've now hurt somebody and they are suffering. So even if I've moved away from them, subtly there is that string that's tying us together. So again, I have to sit in meditation and say, okay, I apologize, I'm sorry, I now send you loving thoughts. Please forgive me. You have to finish that account. Then you come back to yourself, you become neutral. The other thing I want to mention is how our dadis, our seniors who have now gone, Dadi Janki ji, who I had the chance to live with, Dadi Kumarka, who was head of the organization, Dadi Gulzar, all of these dadis, they didn't have a proper formal education. But yet how comes they were running this huge, huge organization? Dadi Janki came to London when she was about 57, 58 years old. That is the time people think of retiring. But she said, no, I'll go to London and I'll do the service. And actually that time it was just London, but from London, so many centers around the world opened. There were some brothers from Australia who were there as gypsies. They took the knowledge. That brother then went back to Australia. He is our brother Charlie. Brother Ken, he then went to South America. Brother Anthony, he then went to Greece. And all these other centers then mushroomed. But that was Dadi believing in herself. She went to London and she is very proud of this. She said, I went to London with one little Air India bag. In those days, Air India used to give these little suitcases. So she had 2 pairs of sari and that's it. And from that, that is the seed of the service that has taken place around the world. So my point in saying this is you don't need so much money. You don't need so many accolades. You need a true heart. You need a pure heart, a pure mind, and service just happens. Success just happens. And so Dadi, when she came, she didn't actually think much of herself because she was short, she was not that pretty. So when she came to Baba, she said, Baba, who am I? I'm nothing. And then Baba just said to her, you know what? I would like to have 10 of you. Because he saw her pure heart. He saw her intention. Dadi had this great love to do seva, to give, to give, to give. And Baba saw that. And then he encouraged that. And then Dadi encouraged us. Because when I came, I also said, Dadi, who am I? And she's repeating the same thing to me. So you can see that when you have benefited from something, you then are able to share that with others in a very natural way, right? So self-worth is really about looking inside, working on the self, on the soul. Okay, you've done your external, you've got your good job, you're probably settled and you're okay. But now what? Now what? Okay? So take that magnifying glass and look inside. So I will stop here, and if anybody has 1 or 2 questions, I'm able to take a few questions. Thank you, Om Shanti. Any questions? Or you're all content?
Any questions?
Om Shanti Dadi. I have one question. Basically, we all in our life do manifestation. We want our life, we think our future, we want to be this, that. So, from here we learn that everything is uh, everything is good and destined, possibly. Like we heard that 80-20 rule, 20% is always fixed, and that 80% is variable. So, is it right to manifest, or is it right to think that this is what I want in my life, this is where I want to go, and this is how I want to live, something like that?
So your question is, should I manifest or not, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Why not? So question is, what do you want to manifest?
So, how I want to live my future life. So, is it eventually right and to think about our future?
Yeah, definitely. So let me maybe clarify. So you can have your dream job and your dream family and everything, but in that there should be the sukh, shanti, prem, right? There should be all these qualities of the virtues that we talk about. So that is really what we are striving for. When we have those qualities, as well as having the dream, whatever, success, then that's the perfect match. But if you got the dream job without the peace of mind, what's the point? So what I'm trying to say is manifest both together, and yes, why not? That gentleman wanted also.
Om Shanti. Dadi, my question was how to differentiate and
Can you hold the
dissociate.
mic up?
Sorry. How to differentiate and dissociate a good intention and a good feeling about something, and how to understand that this is just a good feeling, not the real intention.
So, as is our thought, so is our feeling. Right? Think about it. If I say to you, this person is not nice, your feelings will automatically change for that person. So thought and feeling are connected, but yeah, they're not the same. So thought is like a powerful, intention is like a powerful intention. Intention is like a powerful thought. So when I have a powerful thought, then that will translate into a powerful feeling. So in meditation, we are learning to create powerful thoughts. So powerful thought is a determined thought. It's a pure thought. It's a thought that has a lot of willpower behind it. This concept of I can do it, right? Which comes back to self-worth. I'm able to do it. It's possible to do it. All this comes from a sense of self-worth. So this has to be cultivated over time. So that pure intention turns into pure feeling. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Om Shanti Dadi.
I'm not Dadi, by the way.
Sister. Yeah.
Just a sister, yeah.
Sister, just a quick question. Maybe you've answered some bit of it. But how do we differentiate an ambition and a desire?
How do we what?
How do we differentiate an ambition?
Ambition.
Ambition.
Oh, ambition, yeah.
Ambition and a desire.
Yeah. Well, you see, desire, okay, so desire makes us restless. Whereas I would say a purpose. I think purpose is even a better word than ambition. Because purpose has some meaning to it, like a goodwill feeling. So it's good to be purposeful, it's good to have a mission, a positive mission, but when it's shrouded with desire, then it's like I got to have it, otherwise ... Whereas with the purpose, I'm putting my energy, my effort, but I'm also quite easy. I'm letting go. I'm flexible. I'm malleable. It's a bit like in Islam, they say you tie your camel and then you leave it to God. In other words, you put your effort and then you say, Inshallah. Okay? So here too, we do our bit, but then you let it go. But the desire is such a thing that you're not content till it's fulfilled, till exactly that is fulfilled. Whereas with the purpose, you're willing to be more flexible, more adjusting, and you're at peace with it. You're at peace with the outcome. I see this as the difference. Okay, last question.
Yeah. Om Shanti.
Okay.
My question is that how do we set boundaries without hurting somebody? I mean, put your foot down, but ensuring the other person is not upset.
Yeah. So again, what we learn in conflict resolution is there is passive and there's aggressive and there is assertive. So assertive is the middle ground. Okay? So when I'm being assertive, then I'm respecting myself and I'm respecting you. So for example, you might say like this car example, you might say, okay, you know what? You can borrow the car, but I expect it to come back clean. I expect it to be filled with fuel, and I expect it to be back on time. So you've respected them, but you've also told them what you would like. So there is a way, there has to be a way in life, I think, to set boundaries. And this is the way. Because passive is, okay, you do what you want. Aggressive is, no, you do what I want. So there can't just be those two ways. No, there has to be a middle ground where we meet each other. And I think communication is the key. Like you two were talking, trying to understand each other. That's why you don't know what is the other person's story. That's why we keep it from you. That gradually this person begins to say what is their background, their story, and then you take that new piece of information and you work with it. Because when you get new information, you change your mind, right? So this is the key, yeah, to keep communicating, but then, yeah, say what you feel, say what you want.
Are we taking more questions?
I think we should stop, no? I think because there's lunch. I don't know. I mean, who's Dilip Bhai? I think we should stop. Yeah. But I can take a few more questions, but we should stop. Yeah, we should stop. Okay. So I'm sure you'll get others and you can ask your questions to the next speaker.